Farm for Profit Podcast. Take a listen, have a blast. Farm for Profit Podcast. Learn about farming while having a laugh. Farm for Profit Podcast.
Well, listeners, we're hanging out here at the Sukup booth, Farm Progress Show 2025, staring at the IndyCar. Sukup branded and part of the Andretti team. If you paid attention to any of our social media, you might have seen that car as we put some posts out. But nonetheless, thank you so much for being a listener of the Farm for Profit Podcast. This is Tanner.
This is Corey.
And this is David.
And if you are walking down the way, come on in and listen to one of our podcast recordings. Listeners, we appreciate each and every one of you. Remember, if you've got topic suggestions or ideas for us, farmforprofitllc@gmail.com. You can also text us at 515-207-9640. But today I'm excited. We get to learn about a new opportunity for producers in the U.S. to be able to possibly better manage their fleet of equipment.
So, familiar voice, with a friend of the show, been on several times. But we have Sherie from Steinbauer. Welcome.
Good morning. Good morning to beautiful Decatur.
Yeah, I think
Beautiful Decatur, yes.
Beautiful.
This is the very first show of the Farm Progress Show, and
2025.
People are still coming in because the traffic was terrible.
Yeah, there's like a road closed for construction. It's a bit of a mess.
Yeah, and it didn't look like much construction going on.
We had a guy that was just like on the horn. I was like, yeah, that helps.
That
it
helps.
really does. Like it nonstop.
Makes
Opened
you feel
his
better.
door, slammed his door.
It's like a work in progress construction. It's like Michigan. We're used to that. Just, you start something, you run out of money, you just wait until more cash comes in.
So fleet management's kind of a unique topic. Look at that. One of our super fans just walked by.
Brent.
Already stalking us.
Yeah, going to the wrong tent.
He is. Wrong color, wrong tent.
Mm-hmm.
But when you think about fleet management, Dave, you've got a tractor.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a couple of different pickups. Obviously, lawnmower, skid loader. What do you do to manage your fleet? When is it time to service? Is it all in your head, or what are you using?
Man, I remember back when I just had it written down, and more of the service was, the date, the time. Of course, I just went to on every oil filter, on everything, like everybody does. They just use a Sharpie and write the hours, and that's about the extent of mine. One time I thought, I'm going to do an Excel spreadsheet. So I did, and now I can't find the Excel spreadsheet. So I have no idea where it is.
Yeah.
Corey, what do you do at your farm?
It's pretty much all paperwork. We have started putting some stuff into some spreadsheets, but there's only a couple tools on the farm that we use that we have to service in season. Otherwise, it's usually kind of once a year, once a season type of a deal.
Gotcha.
But we're a small farm compared to a lot.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. We've gone to using a label maker. So right there on the windshield of the machine or whatever it is has the date and the hours. Same thing, write it on the filters as far as that goes. But beyond that, we've got a binder that has filter numbers in it. But I'm excited to learn from Sherie because it goes beyond service, the topic we're going to discuss today.
It does.
Cattle tags and zip ties?
Oh,
Is that what she's got?
that's right. That'd be a good idea.
That's just for you, Dave.
That's just for me. Okay.
Tell us a little bit about, first, before we get into the topic, how's things been with Steinbauer?
It's like everything in farming. It's really tough. I've been to, I think I'm at 13 states so far this year visiting customers, and pretty much everyone is very disheartened, I would say. We've got corn prices from, the 70s now? When you could buy a combine for, 60 grand, and now you're at over $1 million.
Yep.
And, that math just doesn't math for most people. And I don't see, honestly, I would like to say it's going to get better, but things are not going to really look sunny until maybe 26. It's going to be a tough year for everyone. A lot of farm foreclosures. We've got quite a few customers that have decided to retire and sell up because it's just, the numbers just don't add up anymore. It's really tough.
Harvest season is here, and so is your competitive advantage.
That's right. The Estes XPR3 concaves are a total game changer. Think one concave, all crops, no bands, no switching. From wheat to corn, soybeans, you're rolling non-stop. Backed by their patented technology with 250% more threshing surface, you get cleaner grain, fewer fines, and beast-level capacity, all without trading combines.
If you're interested, visit EstesPerformanceConcaves.com to upgrade your combine today. Estes XPR3, harvest smarter, faster, and better.
Well, you're a lot more optimistic than me for 2026 to turn around. I think 2026 might be where the pain actually starts. If you think about farming,
Yeah.
A lot of people had their inputs maybe locked in. Maybe they had opportunities to sell some decent corn and soybeans ahead, and now we're way under cost of production. So now as we start to buy our inputs for 2026 and they haven't gone down, they've gone up.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this is where the hurt comes.
Now you start feeling it.
The
huh?
cash is, that you've built up over the last couple of years, hopefully, if you manage well, starts to dwindle away.
You don't, because you have to podcast because you can't make it on the farm.
Yeah.
At least that's what your
It's the
YouTube buddy
only
says.
thing, yeah, it's the only thing keeping me farming.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's a very tough thing all the way around. I've heard a lot from the manufacturer point of view, from the larger OEM standpoint. I've heard hold and recover more times than I care to count. It seems to be the buzzword within the industry. And, it's tough for everyone because it trickles down. The manufacturers are doing it tough, which means the smaller suppliers are doing it tough. Farmers are having a hard time. It's not great, and that's just the flip side of a lot of what we do, and that's why I like to get out and visit the customers and find out how they're feeling, and try and. I've got a customer who called me this morning. That's why I was late getting here. He's trying to chase old equipment. He's like, he's cancelled his orders of new equipment and he wants some older stuff because he's like, at least I can make money with older equipment. The new stuff he just can't justify.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just saw, I got distracted. I saw a couple of police on bicycles. I wonder if they have electric bikes.
Squirrel.
Make their
Didn't
job
look
a
like
little
it.
easier.
No.
Yeah, it is. It's interesting to see the different stories we've heard from our listeners share.
Yeah.
And they're tuning into us almost more frequently now to try and go back to old episodes and find little nuggets that they can put into their operations, which is great. We appreciate that. And if we can help, that's what we're here to do. I did see another listener send us a message that their local area extension office put together a grain bin safety training as well as a mental health training, and him and his wife were the only two people to show up.
I guess that's one of the sad things. I mean, I'm getting a lot of text messages because, my cell phone number got out there somehow in the general public.
Don't look at me.
Yeah, it wasn't you, it was Dave.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And, I getting a lot of messages from people that just really want to chat. Hey, I'm doing it really tough. It's the mental health side of it is still such a stigma, and it's tough. Farmers generally do it alone. It's literally one of the most jack of all trades professions that there is. You have to be a mechanic, you have to be an agronomist, you have to be a vet. You still have to be a dad or a mum. You juggle a million different jobs all rolled into one. That stress has to go somewhere.
Yeah. I was a plumber last week.
Were you? Cool.
You're pretty proud of that.
Well, I mean, I had to say it because Rachel was like, I need a picture of you farming. I'm like, this is what I'm doing today.
Yeah.
I am replacing a toilet.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I was an electrician on the weekend. My fridge caught on fire. So,
my goodness.
yeah, that was great. I
Too
had
much
fun.
Fireball in it? Is that?
Yeah, that was what it
Okay,
was.
got it.
Fireball.
Yeah, I use margaritas to put it out, though, so we're all good.
We're good.
I do think that everything we've talked about has been important so far. But now let's dive into NexOpt.
Mm-hmm.
Did I say that correctly?
You did.
NexOpt.
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 So it's basically like next option.
Okay.
Next option, just
It's always nice
Yeah.
to get the origin behind that.
yeah, just shorten it down. It's one of those things where it's hard to always come up with a product name. When you're launching something, and there was a lot of back and forth, some wine involved, some scribbles on a whiteboard, and it all came out with NexOpt because it's unique. It's hard. You know what it's like with trademarking now and business names. It's hard to come up with something unique and original that you can brand and trademark. So
So what is it?
what is it?
Yeah.
So I guess probably the easiest way to describe it is we approached fleet management, and I call it asset management because everything that you have is an asset. It costs you money. So we approached the asset management from the engineering standpoint. And basically what we can do is we have a GPS tracker, this is our little gateway. And it's a mini computer within itself. And it can track and store information so that you've got all of your assets in one database. So we can track everything, but if you have equipment or things that you don't want to track and just want to enter the information in there, you can have things like your serial number, service date, how much it cost you. Did you want to play with it, Corey? It basically puts everything that you need all into one database. And it's, for us, the important thing is that we didn't want to care what color your machine was, whether it's a truck, a pickup, a tractor, an over the road, whether it's a motorcycle. We've done boats before, like we've done boats. And it's basically to help you manage everything in one platform. It comes with we have API keys. So if you have JD Link, for instance, if you're tracking things that way, we can gather the information there, or vice versa. Our information can go, it can go both directions.
That's great. Dave, on the way here, had to look up the VIN number for his pickup.
I did.
On a phone call. If you'd have had this, you just pull it up.
Yep. So that might be her API link to Ford Pass.
Yep.
So Ford Pass on my truck, I had to get a VIN number on it, and sure enough, they store it in their app. But then I got 19 different apps for 19 different assets.
Yes.
So you can put it all in one spot.
It can all go into one. And, that was the feedback that we were getting. So how the product came about was in our head offices in Europe, which most of you guys know. So we were actually approached by the Austrian version of your USPS, the Postal Service. And they came to us. They have, obviously, Europe is a long way ahead with electric vehicles. And they came to us and said, look, we have tried everything else. We've tried Geotab, Verizon, all of the main factors, and they can't deliver us what we want, because in Europe, especially Austria, there are very strict privacy laws in regards to being able to see live tracking of a vehicle that employees are driving. They also had a lot of problems with how the vehicles actually worked. They were going through 2 or 3 transmissions a year, that the cars weren't able to make the distance for the routes, even though they should have been able to. So we approached that problem from an engineering standpoint and started to look at the numbers. That's how we developed NexOpt. It was literally, because we're an engineering company, they came to us and said, we have a problem, we need a solution. We looked at it and went, everything that's on the market is software as a service. These are software companies that are literally going, well, here you go. And they look at it from a big data point of view. And big data costs, what most people aren't aware is big data costs money, it costs energy. And who's got time to look at big data, especially from the farming standpoint? You don't have time to go through hours of spreadsheets and filter and sort and everything else. So we looked at it from that standpoint. We discovered that the drivers, the postal delivery drivers, were driving in reverse at the equivalent of about 45 miles an hour. Those vehicles are not designed to go in reverse at 45 kilometers, miles an hour.
I missed a mailbox.
Yeah, and they would literally rip it into reverse and flat. That's why they were going through so many transmissions, because reverse gear is supposed to be like, 10 mile an hour, maximum 5. They were tripling it. They were also, in winter, they were running the heating, and in summer the air conditioning fully flat out, and they would jump out of the car, leave the door open, deliver the post. That all takes energy in an electric vehicle. So we approached it from an engineering standpoint to say, right, we're going to limit how fast they can go in reverse. So because we can work with CAN bus, we limited the reverse speed. We also, when the driver door is open, the AC and everything shuts off. So we looked at it from that standpoint. From the test vehicles that we had out, which was around 100 vehicles, they saved almost €2 million in repair costs alone in the first year.
Wow.
So it sounds like, or what I'm hearing, is that a company in Europe or Austria wanted you to make this, and that was kind of the infancy of it.
Yep.
You went that direction. Now apply it to farming for me.
So, given that we're around farmers a lot, and you guys know me, I like to physically put my feet on a farm. I don't just like to ring people on the phone. I like to physically get out there. And I would see, I would go into a farmer's office and there'd be 20 piles of paperwork. And there'd be, maybe this is for the trucks and this is here. And then you would go out, especially in winter, we would go out to start a machine, battery's flat. Those things are not cheap. And so then we looked at it and went, well, if we can apply it to an on-road fleet situation with mixed different brands and manufacturers, why can't we do that from a farming standpoint? Why can't we look at it from farming construction? You guys have skid steers. You have, a lot of farmers have an excavator or a small, wheel loader. You have tractors. You have pickups. You have Class 8 trucks that you run during harvest season, going back and forward to the grain bins. How do you find out where that truck is? The other big problem that you have in the US is you are bouncing off multiple different cell phone towers.
Yeah.
1 minute you're on AT&T, the next minute you've got Verizon, then you've got dead air, and then you might pick up T-Mobile. You know, how does that work? And with our product, we're cell provider independent. I don't care whether it's AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, or Bob's cell service. I don't care which one it is. But did you notice Bob made a comeback?
Bob,
I like
yeah.
him. We love Bob. And so within the little gateway itself, it has a microcomputer. So if we ever lose cell signal, it will store all of the information. The minute it picks up signal again, it sends it back.
Okay.
So we don't have dead air. Like, we might have dead air for a section, but once you actually pick up cell service again, you get that back. And the nice thing is you can go in and monitor, hey, it will send you an alert to say that battery voltage is low. Batteries are expensive.
Yeah.
You know, that's one of the, and people often don't think about that. They don't think about how expensive a battery is to replace. And when do you need the machine to turn on? You know, when do you need a new battery? When you need the machine.
Yeah,
You literally go out, turn the key, and you're done.
That's what I was going to say. Is that seems like a big time saver. If I already know that the battery's dead on this, then I can plan. Because
Or you see it going low, you could go put a charger on it,
exactly.
so it doesn't go dead and in the middle of winter and then freeze and then be ruined.
Yeah, because that's what happens. Is you go out to want to move it, start it, do whatever you need to do with it, and it's dead.
Yeah.
Now you just killed your time, your productivity, to where if you had that type of an alert, you'd be save some time and money.
Is there a way to save a picture of the battery? I swear every time I have to go take a picture, figure out what size it was, then go to the store, then go back, get it, then come back in, I suppose.
Yeah, you can attach it. So within the platform itself, you can attach service notes. So it has like a note pane. So you can put in there, and say you have a service tech that comes and does stuff for you. You can actually send him a message to say, hey, this is running rough, or I think there's a miss in a cylinder. You can actually put notes within the system. Same thing for damage. You know, if you've got a pickup and, you know, the door's dented or whatever that you give to an employee to use, you can take pictures of it and put it in the database. So it stores all the information within the portal.
Corey, we got to be careful. Tanner's getting the idea to put this under our skin and track us and see how many miles we put on and how far we went on the podcast. She was talking all in one place.
I'll just put a padlock around your belt loop.
Yeah.
Just dangle it.
No, it's in the prison wallet.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Oh, boy.
Nope.
Oh, boy.
What time is it? We've been, 20 minutes in. There we go. It's a record.
So where does that plug in on the vehicle?
Yeah, so we have, I'll grab the little cable here. I did bring props this time.
wow.
So J1939, or straight to the OBD. We can do CAN bus as well. You know, some of the machines, so Komatsu, for instance, where we can go to the J1939, but some information we need to get from CAN bus. You know, yep, that plugs in there.
This is the same cable that used to be on a SATA hard drive.
On a what?
On a SATA hard drive, if you ever built it before we had solid-state hard drives, you'd plug this in on the computer if you ever built CPUs. That's the same
Not
plug.
me. No.
Blah, blah.
No.
Blah, blah, blah.
Well, you said it's a mini computer. It is.
It is.
It's a SATA hard drive.
It is. It is a mini computer, and we developed we actually developed the hardware ourselves, so it doesn't come from a third party. So because, like with everything that we do the development of it at our end. We optimize the hardware. That's why it can be this small. We optimize the hardware to run with the software.
Right into your pickup, Corey.
There you go.
Yep.
Right there, just like that.
Nice.
Right into the pickup. And with the, we always install it with a Y cable. And the reason that we do that is so that when you do have to service, the technician can either plug straight into the J1939 or to the OBD port. And they don't have to unplug it.
Disrupt your service.
Doesn't disrupt it at all. Another nice feature which customers like is your Ford dealership, for instance, if you're going in there, they can actually email into your NexOpt account, and all of that service record history can be stored in a PDF actually on the database itself as well.
Can it read codes?
At the moment, no, we can tell when there's a diagnostic trouble code. The issue that we're having is not everyone, shall I say, follows the rules and makes all of their codes available and readable. And it's a little bit manufacturer independent, but even though everyone's supposed to share that information, it's not always the easiest to get. Most of the time people just want to know do I have a trouble code or not? Yes, I do have one. It is coming. It's something that we're in the process of developing, but like everything, it takes time. Thousands of different of manufacturers. So
I tell you
it's
guys my
coming.
code story.
You go.
So-
Go for it. I think you might have shared it, but share it again.
So my truck last week throws the code,
Oh,
go
no, not
in,
this
plug
story.
into it, and it says air filter near the air filter. So I go look, and it's the sensor. So I just go into town, auto parts store, buy a sensor, put it in, still a code, reset it. Its code goes off. I'm like, well, I didn't check the air filter, which was dumb. So then I go back in. Okay, got it. Go grab an air filter. Long story short, it didn't reset. And I was like, well, what the heck? So I call my buddy at Ford store. He's like, that's because you didn't use a Ford part.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, you got an aftermarket one. I'm like, why the hell do they sell an aftermarket one if I can't use it?
Why is that an option?
So I take it out, plug the old one back in. Everything works just fine. No code. Nothing's ever came back up. I took the part back. We're done.
Maybe you did need the air filter then.
I did need the air filter. Yes, I did. But
Just a wild guess there,
but
Dave.
that's my issue with codes is it's just a trigger.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily that's what's wrong, and then you got to use the same kind of part, which is
So I'm thinking as I'm reflecting on Dave's story about the codes. We with our partner John Deere, we know that through the Ops Center, we can tell if operator A and operator B in the same field doing the same job, if one's running their machine more efficiently than the other.
Yes.
Does this track
Yes.
fuel consumption,
Yes.
productivity?
Yes, it
So
does.
this is a way to now do it across brands.
It is, and I like to think of it like a Christmas shopping list. So when we start out with somebody, we start with some basics. Most people just want to know, where's my stuff? What's it doing? Just the general basics. So we start off with a handful of things. So our system will use the same amount of data in 5 years as what, so Geotab is a good one, what their system uses in 3 months, because they're sending big data. We do quantified data. I don't care, all of the small things that nobody ever looks at. We like to work with the customer and find out what information they need. And then you can do a comparison. You can say, this operator here, it took, is burning, I don't know how many gallons an hour. This one is more efficient. Every time you refuel, we calculate. So once you put into the system to set it up, this holds 200 gallons of fuel. Hang on a second. There was 250 gallons put in. Where did that other 50 gallons go? So fuel theft is another big one that we track.
Yeah.
How much fuel are you using? How often is it going in? There's a lot of different things, but for us, like everything that we do, we like to do it on a customized basis. I like to sit down with you and and generally my meetings go, tell me your problems.
Yeah. You mentioned data. Go over, you said you guys use way less data than like competitors. Give us an example.
So, for instance, California, because I love California, you all know that. So California brought in the regulation where they're tracking the emissions, etc.
Yep.
So they brought in this regulation. We got on board very early in that project. And we gave them some advice on, you don't want to send big data. Big data costs money. You have to store it. Somebody has to search through the data. So they're sending thousands and thousands of lines of code, for want of a better term. So they're sending this information constantly. That's got to be stored somewhere. What we do is we sit with you and say, what do you need to know? Do you care about speed? I don't care how fast somebody's going. Okay, we're not going to collect that data. Do I care about, the RPM level? Well, yes, I do. All right, we're going to take that. We're going to take RPM. So it's like that shopping list. Instead of saying this is everything on the ECU, we're going to take all of this and just send it to a database. We say, okay, out of everything that's there, you only want 10 things. Those 10 things are what we're going to report on.
I want to know how far away Tanner parks from every restaurant. And we'll compare it to how close I park to the front door. That's the reason he's
it's an
getting-
evolution, right? It's growth, because I would say when we did these interviews last year, these boys would say, Tanner drives around the parking lot forever trying to find a parking space. So now that I take one of the first spaces I see, it's too far away.
Gotta get your steps in, Dave.
What's that?
Gotta get your steps in.
I wanted to take you from 8,000 to 10,000.
Yep. It's all for the
I'm just-
betterment of health.
I've got
Is that
you
what
in
it
mind.
is?
Yep.
Well, I
Yeah.
did notice you're getting a bit slim there, Dave. It's
No,
some more of those
I'm
extra
getting
steps.
a little bit fat. Yeah. Yep.
Oh wait, that's because I've not seen you in person
That's
so many
right.
times.
It's
You're like a
been-
myth,
It's been the myth, the legend.
Dave the
The
myth.
legend. Yes, that's going to get clipped.
So what's something like this cost?
So we do $8.95 a month per asset.
Per asset. So per dongle.
Yep.
For
Yep.
dongle.
Don't call it a dongle. I hate that word.
Do you? Why?
I don't. It's because trust me.
I used to have a
So
dongle right
when
here.
when I came up with using the term gateway,
Gateway.
we put dongle into the search of Google, and you can get all kinds of weird things when you put in dongle.
I got a dongle in my hand.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's it. But yeah, so we call it a gateway. I like the term gateway because it's basically a gateway to the information that you need to access. So $8.95 a month. That's our US price here, and it's
Is there a bulk discount?
a bulk discount.
Yeah, if I got 25 units.
Or from
that I
a
wanna
company
track.
with 100 trucks.
A company with it depends on how difficult the database is to set up. So if you have, say, a fleet of 100 vehicles, so at the moment I'm working with quite a few rural counties in Michigan, because rural counties are notoriously poor. They never have any money and they can't afford to lose assets. And things like lawnmowers, I didn't know how many lawnmowers go missing in rural counties. It's insane. They lose lawnmowers. Skid steers are still number one on the hit list of things to be stolen. So depending on how complex the database is to set up, there is either a $0 database fee to set up, or if you're at around 100 assets, it's $5,000 to set up thereabouts the database. That includes us putting in all of the asset information for you. We put in all of your latent service records, so we can actually enter all of that information in, so all your historical data as well. Bulk discount, it's like a sliding scale. Yeah. It's like everything. It really depends on the project, the scope of it, and because we can customize it so much, what customization do you need, or if you don't need any.
You talked earlier about privacy in Austria and that it's even exacerbated.
Yep.
Is there like myths with GPS out there that you're following me and keeping where I was after hours, etc.?
And that is a big concern. So within the system itself, so we did a pilot project with our local sheriff's department. We were doing testing because our county is notorious for rotten cell service, and you have to bounce between towers all of the time. And they obviously, in a rural area, they have a drug squad. Now, the drug squad vehicles were fitted with the gateways, but they didn't want anybody else to see them on the map.
Oh.
So we can actually hide it at our end, so that the vehicle is being tracked, but only, say, the sheriff or the administrator, only select people can have visibility to the vehicles. And it's the same for management. We were working with a large construction company down in Texas. All of their vehicles are to be tracked, but management are able to use their vehicles for private use as well.
Got it.
So they were able to say, okay, no, we don't want these to be done. We can also have RFID access, so we can fit the machine or the asset with an RFID card. Each employee gets the RFID card. We can put in there the permissions, and it says, okay, John is able to drive a pickup and a Class 8 truck. He cannot drive a skid steer or an excavator. So he gets in there, he taps his card, and the machine won't start.
Interesting.
Corey's going to do that with his family. Brother cannot drive this. Dad cannot drive this.
Right. Nice.
Until he gets into one where it's like, where's my card not working?
Yeah. What about user interface? Is it just an app or?
No, we don't use an app, and the reason for that is, again, comes back to privacy. The minute that you ask an employee to download an app, do I have to pay them after hours? Do I where's the access? So this is basically just like a shortcut that you can have on your phone or your tablet. On the computer, it's just a web interface, and you can literally just do the shortcut on your phone. So it looks like an app, but it's actually not.
Just a web page.
Just a web page.
So we've already discussed the value that this can bring with being able to track your fleet, to know where it is so it doesn't get stolen. Obviously, that's money savings. We've talked about the way that this can help you with maintaining your service records to make sure you don't end up with an issue because you missed a service or something wasn't done properly. But Dave, when you've sold equipment, what does it do to the value of that piece of equipment if you could have records that this would keep?
That was one of the first things I thought when she was saying that. I remember getting 15% more on a skid steer just because we taped to the window all the service records that we got from the local shop. An auction I got going right now, I wanted to make sure that the combine was guaranteed ready for this year, so took it in, had them service it, so I can post that on the window, post that on the website. So if Corey wants to use it, I know right now it's good. So, I mean, there's a bump.
Yeah, that's money making too.
Yep.
That goes right into the nature of farm for profit.
Meet Maya Cornheads, built better for over 40 years to power through down corn, high yields, and tough fields without flinching.
These durable, low-maintenance heads mean less downtime, less grain loss, and more profit per acre. They have the option for down corn attachments or direct-driven chopping. They ensure that your combine will move smoothly, fast, and full at all times.
Don't just harvest your fields, conquer them. Visit MayaCornheads.com to find the dealer near you.
One of the things we came up with was working with the construction company down in Texas was oil samples. So for a big construction outfit, your oil samples are vital because you're taking multiple, you're taking rear differentials, you're taking everything. Within the system itself, you can actually put in there the oil samples and then you can tag them. I mean, Dave can see my computer screen here. So you can actually tag all of the oil samples, whether it's red, which is caution, amber or green, so that a visual look, you can look and say, hang on a minute, this machine has had 4 bad oil samples in a row. Why hasn't anyone looked at it? Or this machine has obviously got an issue.
How long does it take to get that data from there to the computer, from the, not the dongle? What's your word?
Every 15 seconds.
15 seconds. Corey, I'm thinking her database looks like when we were at NASCAR and we got to sit in the pits, and as you watch the NASCAR, I mean, you could second by second by second, they knew left tire, right tire, front engine, speed, heat, temperature, everything.
Yeah.
I mean, it was amazing how much data they had to make decisions.
Yeah.
They had AI projected models of what we should do to be more efficient. Your dashboard kind of looks like that.
Yeah, so I mean, we can do shorter intervals. So, for instance, we have one of the Uchi custom harvesters. They have them on the grain trucks. He wants it in 5-second intervals.
Oh, wow.
We can do it in 5-second intervals. It's just, does it make sense?
Got it.
And so, generally speaking, around 15 to 30 seconds makes sense for idle time and whatever else. And he loves it now because he can literally just look on his phone and he knows exactly where his grain truck is and how far away it is from the. You know, he sometimes had guys go missing for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, "Well, oh no, well I was stuck in traffic in the middle of Nebraska? I don't think so."
We had a truck driver like that would run over to get wet feed for the feed yard, and you're like, man, that should be a 3-hour round trip.
Yeah.
And it was taking 5 and 6, and you had to do your own spy work to find out that we'd spend a lot of time at the truck stop.
Yeah. And I guess the other side of it too is how I look at it from a legal standpoint as, lovely concerned citizens will sometimes see a farm name on a truck and they'll ring up and go, wow, this guy, he went past my farm, he was doing 70 miles an hour. You can literally go into the map and it does the breadcrumb trail and you can click on you can highlight every breadcrumb and go, no, well, he was doing 35 miles an hour. He was doing 40 here.
Yeah.
So from that standpoint, you're good. We had that. I think you all probably remember back during those lovely years of COVID. In our local county, we have Diamond Lake and they have a huge sandbar party every year. It's quite legendary for 4th of July, the sandbar party. During COVID, an invitation went out and the sandbar party went from a small group of like 5 people to a few thousand people.
Whoa.
And the sheriff's...
5 people, really a party?
It's COVID. I mean, 2 people were a party back in COVID.
Yep.
And the sheriff's department, because we had the trackers on their boats, the sheriff's department came to us because they were getting pummeled with negative press and everything else. They came out to us and went, can you show us exactly where our boats were for that holiday weekend? We pulled up the map. They were on water. We didn't care. It showed exactly where they were. We were able to track them round where they were on the lake, what lake they were at, what was their location to the sandbar. And that really helped them out from a PR standpoint because they were able to turn around and go, no, here we were. We were actually there. There was Sheriff's Department presence. So you can take that whether it's a boat going down the Mississippi or we have there's a marina in Europe. They just wanted them on their small tender boats that the operators use to help yachts get in and out. They just wanted to know where they were. How far out are you? So, it's got a lot of different applications, and even mechanical.
Get me out of some speeding tickets.
Well,
Yeah.
Tanner has a reader in his truck for better insurance rates. Is there an insurance play that you could do with this?
I haven't done anything from the insurance standpoint. For me, the insurance standpoint is a slippery slope. It's a double-edged sword. They like to get the information, but all too often, if you have to overtake somebody at speed for safety, they see it as a negative.
Yeah.
So you can have the information. Have I gone down that path with insurance? No. More so because I like to think that insurance probably manipulates the data to their advantage more so than to yours.
I was more thinking like large companies like Corteva or John Deere or something that
Yeah.
has thousands of vehicles on the road and employees. They're huge into safety because they get better insurance rates and
And that was where the RPM limiting came into it with the post. We're able to RPM limit. It's the same with wheel loaders in concrete plants. We can actually limit the speed that they can do inside a concrete plant because they drive those wheel loaders into an embankment of gravel at ridiculous speeds. They destroy a machine in no time at all.
You should partner with Farm Progress Show and put one on every one of these stupid golf carts.
Oh my!
The golf carts aren't the problem. It's the gas.
It's the drivers.
Gas ones.
Oh,
yeah.
Lovely.
Yesterday there was a crash as we were setting up our booth.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this girl jumped in and she obviously went in the wrong direction because she's going this way and she went into reverse, ran into somebody's booth, knocked the tent over. I mean, it was kind of comical, but and it can be anything. I don't care what it is. I have one on our telehandler. Our telehandler, God bless her, she's like 30 years old and mechanical, but I still have one on the telehandler, so I know where it is because it can be easily stolen.
That was the last piece I wanted to bring up for the sake of time today is we've got a couple of pieces of equipment on the farm that we feel like are nickeling and diming us.
Yeah.
Like getting to the end of that useful life of am I putting more into it repairs than what it's actually still worth? I bet using this, we would be able to actually see if it's that cost ownership is going high.
That's a huge deal because you're able to within the system, you can enter all of your service records in and how much they cost, and you can tag things. So if it was say if you have a problem with injectors, so you can actually put a service tag in the system that says injector. You can make as many tags as you want, but you make ones that make sense. And then you go, okay, how much does it cost me since I've owned this machine for injector repair? And you can filter it, and it will tell you exactly how much just it's been to fix the injectors.
So I don't have any time to check all this data. So great, I got all this data coming at me. It's coming in. Do I process it as the user, or do you process it and tell me, hey, we noticed this? Is it on the company or the individual user?
So part of what I do is we actually sit down and work out what dashboards you need. So a dashboard is the information overview, a shortcut. Everything within the system can be filtered down, so you can do reporting on the fly, we call it. And then the most important things to you, like what's my fuel level across all of my fleet? What does A, B, C, D, and E and F have? What's my idle time? So we put certain things into a dashboard. But if you want reporting to come out every month, we just sit together. You tell me, this is what I want to know every month. The system will generate a report every month, every week, every day, whatever you need it, and send it to you in email in a PDF.
Gotcha.
Well, we've had a lot of requests on fleet management programs to just what do we use, those types of questions from our listeners. So your reaching out to us was impeccable timing. So thank you for your willingness to share. I hope our listeners find benefit in this conversation today. If they did, do they go to Steinbauer?
Yeah, so Steinbauer Engineering. So you can call the office 230. I don't know. Wait, 20.
Pop it up on the screen.
It's going up on the screen.
It doesn't come with a jingle.
No, I do need a jingle.
I was listening to a comedian the other day that was going through old jingles.
Yes.
And he's like, I don't remember the address of the house that I grew up in, but I remember this phone number.
I remember the jingle. Yep.
J.G. Wentworth.
Yeah.
No,
it's my money, and I want it now.
877 cash now. Yes, that's exactly what it is.
So you need an 877.
Yeah, no.
NexOpt.
269-230-0400. That's it.
There you go.
Oh God,
Yeah.
That's terrible. It's too early in the morning.
And obviously they can reach out to us. We can get them directly
They can go to the
or your leak your cell phone
Steinbauer.us
number.
website. Yeah, so Steinbauer.us, there's a NexOpt page, so you can get some information there. But like everything else, I physically like to actually talk to people. I'm a little bit old-fashioned that way. So send me an email. Reach out to you guys, not to Dave though.
Yeah.
Somebody might Snapchat you like all day, like, man, she's talking with people all day
Listen.
long.
Some of the DMs, they're just weird. That's still just weird. I mean, I don't know. It cracks me up, but
It's funny.
yeah, that's okay.
Well, it's always a pleasure. Thanks for kicking off our Farm Progress show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
yeah.
I'm looking forward to Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yay.
It'll be a great time. And listeners, obviously, if you're listening to this show and you didn't go to the after party, that's your loss. If you did, thank you for being there. We appreciate everybody hanging around. We always appreciate you listeners on every show. Share this with your friends, your family. But until next time, have a good one.